Good morning, peoples. Hello. It is interesting. Playing with sound all the time. I do have the thing now, so I can set up my good recording mic, and I will be doing lots of singing bowl videos. I will be playing with the stabilization of my setup. Lots of stuff to refine what I do. I'm gonna have one of those backgrounds, and me and Kyle are gonna set up, and if he wants to, are gonna set up the lighting effects and figure out exactly how I'm gonna do this. I do have a rather beautiful bowl set. I don't know why I'm talking about this right now. Um, I'm wondering if I can get away with putting some of them in the dishwasher. It's pretty fun. It's a funny notion to me, I don't want them to break, obviously, but like, there's just some things, the outside are purposefully coarse, and so it's difficult to clean them. So we'll see. But yeah, so that's in the works today. I'm supposed to do a Kandwa event on the practitioner's website on Facebook, and it'll be in a little over an hour from now, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. But I'm not exactly feeling it, just because there'll probably only be like one person there. It's fine. One person who's watching me now. Um, and all of that, and that's fine. And people always go back and watch it later, but it's also like, okay, well, if there's only going to be one viewer for an actual event, then I'm just going to do it later, and everybody can watch it later. Because we discovered this place out here that's like natural falls, and we want to go swimming. I think it's so important to get in nature in every way possible. And I even realized it yesterday, or really felt it yesterday. We went for a hike, and it turned out to not be so much of a hike. We found this pond and just like chilled out with the ducks. There was nobody there, middle of nowhere, and it was perfect. So we put on some music and danced around, and Kyle did hooping, and I did some qigong, that kind of thing, and just kind of like, I just was with one of these really beautiful rocks that I found, in the earth. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything except activate the Akandwa. And that was a huge reminder to me to get away from the mind. Remind to get away from the mind. Reminded, no mind. It should be remound. I don't know. Reminded. I've always hated the weak forms of past tenses in English. This could be a rant for hours. Yeah. When I was a kid, I refused to say ed endings on certain words, and so I thought that the past tense of the word glow was glue, because you have know, knew, throw, through, etc., etc. And so I thought glow, glue, but it turns out it's not. You're supposed to say glowed, which sounds awful. Anyway, moving on. So I did want to share some Akandwa energy. But yeah, I just sat there on a stone, and I was just, okay, essentially sacred posture work. Turn on the Akandwa, feel everything around you, and don't try to do anything. Don't be happy pride, by the way. Don't try to like force anything. The only thing that you do is you remain concentrated on your intention, which in that moment is simply, for me, activating the Akandwa. And it's not a continual action, it's more of a space. You just get there. You don't have to remind yourself of the words. There's nothing to do with your hands. All of that drops away. And so, in this work, activating, being with, wafting out, emanating the Ikadua on purpose becomes its own work. It becomes its own meditation, essentially, you know? And this can be true of any energy that you work with, Reiki included. Some people think of it as coming from within them, which I think is probably better because you invoke that sacred energy within you, and it kind of gets to everything else. As you just expand it outward and expand it outward. You can do it with Diksha, you can do it with anything. But the point is to just lock yourself into a place, into a posture, or even a pose. I was doing this one for a little while. My left foot forward, right foot back, left hand back, right hand forward. This kind of walking man profile, kind of thing. And it's sort of a Tai Chi pose, I think, is probably where I got it from. And then just being with the Ikadua and letting it happen. And you learn so much and you gain so much power, and things break up in so many strange ways when you do that. We think of moving energy, moving energy, moving energy, whether it's Qigong, Tai Chi, etc. But I think we sometimes forget that, especially in things like the Taoist and the Toltec tradition, a little bit of a link up there. While the Toltec tradition may not be able to describe to you exactly what is happening with the energy or where it is going, because that's not really in the Toltec uh, whatever set of. There's no rules, it's the practice is the life is the art, it's like that's where those boundaries get all. Whereas the Taoist tradition has been around long enough and recorded long enough, I think, that a lot of it is specifically mapped out and spelled out. So the Taoist tradition tells us that stillness creates movement and movement creates stillness. You spin around and move and go crazy, then by the time you stop and rest and your body is at rest, you're going to feel a tremendous amount of stillness. It's like having a really washed out, slightly tired, but at peace feeling after really working yourself out, after working out really hard. A lot of people will describe that. There's also the concept of the runner's high, which is not just chemical, it's energetic. You got into a place where everything has cleared itself out, and then you get this second wind and you're still going and you're still moving, but it's like, whoa, everything inside just sort of is at peace. And that's why people can sort of get addicted to it, Probably not as serious. I mean, you're being healthy, for the most part. But stillness creates movement, movement creates stillness. So the stillness part of it, at least, if I'm just locked into that pose, eventually you're going to feel the way energy starts to move around you. And it's connected to the energy of the earth and the sun and the stars, and there's just much more of an expansive feeling of that energy moving within you and without you, through you and around you, So there's something really important to explore that I've completely forgotten about in my own work, because I just tend to sit here at this chair and I send energy, I create a field for people to get into, to latch onto or whatever, and that's it, But there are certain things that we need to explore, like posture work and all of that. So sort of in that vein, I want us to at least use our hands for this, and standing would be most appropriate. I'm not going to stand up though, because then you'll see my chonies. But I'm just going to hold my hands in a slightly open position in front of the solar plexus. Okay, so that's what we're working with, maybe about 2 inches apart, around there. Your hands are smaller, it'll be smaller. It is in proportion to you and your body size and your hand size, and really just where it feels right. Essentially, if you were to pinpoint the exact center of what we call the solar plexus, or the, what is it, Manipura chakra, then the middle fingers would be in that dead center. little tiny, dot in the middle of it. And then the position forwards and back is going to be up to you. You have to feel where it feels right. So just in front of the solar plexus, pinning the middle with the middle finger, but also several inches outwards. You're not trying to hold anything. You're not trying to here and you're not here. You're just sort of in between with a relaxed, good position for energy work, and find that little balance. And then I'm going to be sending volcanic Akandwa into our mutual field. You can make that intention to come into the same group space for this, and this will start to affect your solar plexus chakra. And just hold that position. Sometimes your fingers and your hands will want to move. Keep them stable. Breathe low and slow into the belly. I was feeling more obsidian. Volcanic, but this is preliminary work, and this is some stuff that I would do in the morning. So when you're creating a posture and you're holding this position, once again, the stillness that you're doing is going to create movement. If you have the Akandwa, go ahead and activate it and also focus on that. But it's not necessary. And if you don't, then just try to absorb some of the energy that I'm sending. Interesting one. Connecting the solar plexus to the root chakra. And that's a good way to start the morning with grounding and clearing of these two things. Nice. And what I've also been noticing is, without talking about all the little things I've been going through and I've been sharing on these videos for the past few weeks, essentially I've concluded, wow, I have a lot of viewers right now, good for me. Essentially I've concluded that in all the foibles, all the muck the mucky muck, all the stuff that I've been going through lately. Essentially, it's all in my head. I mean, that's always where the problem is. Um, it's just we, for whatever reason, no matter how aware we think we're being of our particular issues and whatnot, we tend to just get very mentally confused sometimes about what's actually going on. And sometimes it turns out that what's actually going on is not even going on. It's just temporary. We think everything is so damn permanent, and it's not. So, what I've been noticing has really helped me is clearing out the third eye. So, people who are obsessed with the third eye stuff, we might as well go that direction. Now, this is going to be top down, and what we're essentially doing this time, 2 chakras again, and skipping one in the middle, namely the crown. We will be working on the third eye and soul star before we're working on the solar plexus and root, skipping the womb chakra in between. So, and just to reiterate, I didn't mention it, but a lot of times in the work with the Akadwa, for some reason that happens. You get one chakra and then skip one, and then you get to the next one because it creates a flow. And so doing that also clears out the one in between. And so we tend to create a flow in order to heal things because that seems to be more effective than just activating things in chakras. So this will be atmospheric and lapis. Try to soak up the energy around the area of the third eye, crown, etc. Back of the head really connects to the Earth Star more than some people realize. If you want to connect to the Earth Star, this is a mudra that you can use. It's a little complicated. Take one finger, pointing, pinch it at the very tip. You don't really need to pinch it, just like on top of it, like that, and then wrap your fingers around it. So, like that. And that is a pretty closed circuit. So I'm not going to use it. I'm going to continue sending these energies. Again, still breathing low and slow into the belly. That's all you ever really need to do for any of this. Set your intention, set your intention, set your intention to receive and to be into the group space of the energy that I'm sending. So the notion is always simply, I am there, I am with you, I am here. We are in the same space together, we're in this together, we're sharing energy, we're sharing energy, we're sharing energy, that kind of thing. Nothing is ever lost, and we don't pick up on other people's crap. Those are also little filters that I like to have in place. I may have an energy when we do this group work together that can heal you. I am sharing all I can. You may have an energy during this healing work group session and stuff that can heal me, and I try to be open to that as well. Our heads are full of cotton, hay, and rags. I've noticed my third eye has just been like so cloudy lately, and then I do this kind of stuff. Atmospheric in particular helps to open it up and clear it out, and you get to this space with it, and you're just like, oh my god, how was I so stupid for the past 3 days? And it's not stupidity; it's just for whatever reason we keep getting confused on this level. All of this stuff processing all of the time, and I'm just like, oh, I can't see. Atmospheric, set your intention to receive this version of the Akadwa, this variety, and Lapis, Soul Star. Now, when we should do a balance, just keep doing what you're doing, balancing between solar, which is around the heart, and lunar, which is around the second chakra, the womb chakra, sacral chakra. Bring these two energies together to form a big bright body within you, and then balance the entire thing out with Jaguar, which is the energy of the eclipse. So it's the perfect balance between yin and yang, or moon, lunar, and sun, solar. So I'm going to do that pretty much all at once. So just keep continuing to do the energy work that you're doing, pulling it in, breathing into the belly, grounding yourself, being in that group space, solar times. Gonna look forward to a lot more personal music coming up for me soon. I'll probably be starting a Twitch feed, which you will be able to subscribe to. So that will be your, personal access to a lot of stuff that I'm going to be doing. Going to throw myself whole hog into that aspect of it. Um, let's see what I can create. It's about time that I did that. Okay, but this will always still be happening. Continuing to balance between lunar and solar Kadwa. Sometimes you'll find this happens in your own energy work, where one hand is below, one hand is above, and then they switch places, like you're sort of almost drawing the yin yang symbol in front of you. Can already feel Jaguar starting to activate. Hi, blessings to you too. Quintessence Healing Arts. I will look you up. Continuing to balance. I'm starting to feel Jaguar activate, which is a pretty sexy energy. Can use for magical purposes because it happens to be a really unique balance of masculine and feminine energies, a really unique balance of yin and yang. In the Ikandua, you can think of it as a really unique balance of solar and lunar. However, it is not the combination of those two energies. It's what's produced when they interact with each other. There's a subtle difference alchemically. So I'm just finishing with the Jaguar. Good times. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that. It was just some tasty Akadwa for you. Pretty much the whole video was. And I'm doing an event in about an hour. Hoping I'm going to be able to complete that just because I have to do some other things today too. Um, I do enjoy this because I'm getting more viewers and it just encourages me, you know. I get 4 people or whatever who are doing some of what I'm doing and soaking up some good energy. That to me is always more satisfying than doing a video alone, you know. I do need to plan these things more in advance, but also, yeah, I'm still trying some things out. I'm still trying to figure out the best time, because this is a Monday in the morning and I've got 4 viewers, which is unique. That usually doesn't happen, you know. It's a work day and it's early. Usually people watch at night. So I'm going to try to do some, maybe both, you know, maybe some people are still into this morning stuff. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. I will. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, good. I like comments. um, yeah. I'm not sure if you were in there for the middle portion when I was talking about that, like when we do healing events, you know, there's very little that you have to do other than just be in the group space and have that intention. And I always like to remind people, and like, I might have healing energy that I can bring through that heals and helps you, supports you. You might have healing energy that can heal and support me, you know, and so you try to remain open in that sort of sense of giving and receiving. You know, there's no exclusivity behind what we do in that sense. And then in general, simply try to be in that group space. You know that when you're in the group space, you're sharing and receiving essentially, but then you can just sort of drop the whole notion and be like, I'm here, we're all here. And I always do that on the Akandwa practitioners website too, when we do events, group healing events. Um, and then we just kind of drop it. You know, I've always been the leader, like a facilitator when it comes to the particular types of work that we do, as in we're going to create a vortex of, you know, lapis and oceanic or something like that. And it gives us a certain experience. People have certain emotions that come up and come out, you know, different healing things. People cry. Well, yes, indeed. And all of that. So that's always been my role. But I never want to like pigeonhole anything, you know, or like make it weird. When I first started doing this stuff and I started doing like live events or whatever, I had a couple times where I was just really unpleasant, you know, to the group, just like, no, we're focusing on this now, shut up, you know, and it was just not appropriate. I thought I knew what I was doing and I thought I was being like, you know, a good leader or something, and it just didn't come across right. Had my own problems to deal with and get over, so I apologize if anybody ever experienced that. That's not how it is now. But yeah, okay, so thank you so much, and you're very welcome. Yes, I guess, you know, Mondays are a good day for me, so maybe I'm going to try to do something in the morning on Monday, and I can get a certain little crowd. Um, and then I'll try to do something definitely on Saturdays in the evening. It would be easier for me to do Sunday, but those are both my weekends. I always run up against this because I have Sundays and Mondays off, whereas most people have Saturday and Sunday. You know, so most people are expecting something on a Friday night. You know, I think that's the thing, and I'm like 2 days behind everyone. So it's interesting to have Mondays off, and some people do. I do. But then it's like you try to do something and everybody else is already into the mix again. And you're like, ugh, fine. Anyway, figuring it out.